Ever since Avengers Endgame, things have never been the same. The city's become overrun with Iron Man wannabes who are more dangerous than the criminals themselves. Well, here at Starxel, we're gonna put an end to this. Last time we taught an AI jet to bomb a missile launcher, so teaching an AI to pilot an Iron Man suit should be easy. Before we get into this video, most videos on this channel will be on AI, and there are some pretty fundamental concepts on this, such as neural networks, agents, environments, deep reinforcement learning and blah blah blah, that are pretty helpful to know. It's pointless for me to explain these every video, so I'm not going to. Feel free to check out my past two videos, getting a jet to bomb a missile launcher, or teaching a drone to fly, and AI in general, if you want to learn more about these concepts. Links in the description. Also, consider subscribing to not miss out on future videos. Now, let's get back to the project. To start off, we need to design an agent, and for this, I had a cheeky plan. Have you ever seen those videos of a simulated creature learning to walk? Well, it turns out that's a pretty popular thing to do, and Unity, the program I use to make agents, even has a pre-written agent just for that. Now, these agents are rewarded the further they move left, so they learn to move left. If I change that reward to when they're close to a point, they'll learn to move to that point. I could then add a thruster to both hands and feet of the agent and give it 4 extra outputs to control these. After that, I just write up the hyperparameters and start training. And that's it. It's literally that simple. Seriously, even a child could, oh yikes. Okay, so maybe it's not that simple. As you can see, the AI has developed a exotic method of flying. To be honest, this method is actually quite effective for some boring physics reasons I won't explain. If you want me to, ask in the comments. Regardless, this angular motion would certainly damage our machine, so we need to get rid of it. An obvious start is to punish the agent for having an angular velocity. I tried this, but then it led to, well, this. These agents are kinda trash, and at this point I got a bit fed up with them, so I decided to start from scratch. Our goal is to get an agent from one point to another, so really, we're focused on its motion. I'm sure it's pretty clear that the thrusters have the biggest impact on the agent's motion. More specifically, we need to control the thruster's position, orientation, and magnitude. With this in mind, I designed an agent where it could control only that. Using inverse kinematics, it's possible to make a system where the agent can give us a thruster position and an algorithm orientates the limbs as such to put the thruster in the desired position. Of course, each thruster can only be so far away from the body. As well, I try my best to restrict certain orientations that are unrealistic. So, for each thruster there are 7 values to control: its position, orientation, and magnitude. As there's 4 thrusters, this gives the AI 28 outputs. The inputs, which is what the AI sees, is its velocity, angular velocity, displacement to target, orientation, and all 28 thruster values. This gives it 40 inputs. Alright, so let's watch it train. The best way to train this AI would be to first teach it how to hover in place. Once that is done, we could then move on to teaching it to fly to a point. This method of training is called curriculum learning. To make it easier to see the agent's performance, I've placed a small sphere on each agent. As the agent moves away from the sphere, a little line will be drawn between the sphere and the agent. Now, if the agent was really good at hovering in place, it wouldn't move too far from the sphere, so that little line between the agent and the sphere would be pretty small. The agents that you can currently see on screen are the initial agents. As you can see, their performance is pretty trash. The reason for this is because at the very start of the training, the weights and biases of the neural network that the AI uses is randomized, meaning that the AI's behavior is random. 52 minutes later, and the agents have significantly improved. You can see that they're no longer plummeting to the ground. However, the agents are yet to master controlling the angular velocity and rotation. 2 hours and 25 minutes in, and the AI has become very stable in its flight. It keeps itself upright now and has very little angular velocity. I'm pretty happy with this, and so we're going to move the AI to the next lesson, learning to hover to a point. 3 hours and 21 minutes later, and the AI hasn't improved much, but to be fair, it's only been an hour since we changed this lesson. 12 hours and 53 minutes of training, and it seems the AI has learned to move to a point that's vertically in line with the target. You can also see that it's learning how to angle its thrusters in such a way to propel itself to the point. "16 hours and 17 minutes of training. The agents have now learned to actually fly to the point's level. However, it takes them quite a bit of time to do that. One day, 5 hours and 30 minutes in. You're currently looking at the final agent. Some of these guys are pretty quick. And they've learned to angle their thrusters to shoot to the point. Now, for some reason, the agents group up into a specific place by the point. Why is that? I'm not really sure, but I reckon it's something to do with the fact that the agents are rewarded for looking at the point, and if they were to get too close to the point, they may accidentally pass through it, consequently meaning they're no longer looking at the point, and therefore not getting as much reward. But if this was the case, we wouldn't expect them all to bunch up in that single point there, we'd expect them to bunch up all around the point. So I'm not really sure why it is. Either way, I'm happy with how the agent's performing, and so I'm going to call it a day. Now, I usually give my agents a name once I'm finished making them, and so I'm going to call this guy Feynman. I chose the name Feynman because ooh, what's this? Whoa, Feynman, that goat just got mugged.
Don't worry, fellow citizen. I'll stop that thief in his tracks. Stop running.
Be careful now, Feynman. If you get too close, you'll burn him up. Oof, that'll hurt. You reckon he needs some milk? I mean, it's not every day that— Whoa, Feynman! Alright, so yeah, maybe Feynman's not the best for fighting crime, but I'm sure he'll fit in well in the military. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did like it, and you want to see more, consider subscribing, or hitting that like button. If you've got any questions about the project, feel free to ask below in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Now that's all from me, and I hope you have a great day.